Hey guys, so tomorrow we will be getting Mog, so let's just jump right in and discuss if Mog's FR should be used as the main FR. Well, Mog's second and third condition is pretty much considered as generic because his entire kit is about cleansing and dealing confusion on the enemy, which is a disabling debuff, so he definitely will be allowing the entire party to meet that condition, unless the enemy is frequently debuffing the party or frequently cleansing themselves of confusion, right? So if you put it this way, after Mox cleanses another party, so let's assume that the next turn is Terra. So Terra cannot cleanse the party. So if during Terra's turn, the entire party is inflicted with a new debuff, then Terra will not be able to meet Mog's condition. So if you are fighting a fight that have certain threshold where they debuff, that can be a problem. Or if the enemy take turns between Mog's turn and Terra's turn and they inflict a debuff, then that can be a problem as well. But technically, if you're actually playing Mog, the enemy probably will not really take a turn, meaning to say that even if they take a turn, they will not attack you because they are probably already confused with whatever Mog's kit is all about. So in that sense, Mog is actually pretty okay, but I don't really like the first condition of his FR, which is requiring range attacks. So up to this point, how many range characters do we have? So it kind of like limit the roster if you really want to plan your party around Mog's FR. And if we are talking about echoes, at this point, apart from Mog himself, only Woe, Warrior of Light, have range FR and echo. Given the restriction of his FR, I wouldn't really recommend his FR as a main FR, even though his FR has certain good utilities such as increasing his debuff rate to 100%. That's because confusion from plasma is not 100%, it's about 30%. So if his FR is activated, then he will 100% inflict confusion. But the fact is that his FR already inflict 2 turn confusion on the enemy, so they don't really stack or the number don't go up. It's not like Fusoya's case. So in this case, it's just constantly inflicting debuff after debuff that is already applied on the enemy. So it kind of like, why do you need it for it? Why do you need it that way? But apart from that, his FR also allows him to cleanse the entire party by 1 debuff. So if you include that with El Nino, then he is definitely a very, very potent cleanser. He probably can cleanse 2 to 3 debuff from the party, right? So in that case, if you really need those utility, then you can consider using his FR as a main FR. But as I mentioned, if his follow-up attack already has the utility that his FR provide, then you can just rely on that. You don't really have to rely on his FR. So in that case, I do recommend his FR to be used mostly as an Echo's FR. Do note that the 2-turn confusion from his FR still applies even if you are using his FR as an Echo FR. So what about his BT? Do we really need his BT? His BT allowed his follow-up to be triggered twice. Apart from that, it's just basic stat boost, 30% HP damage limit up and things like that, which is pretty much generic for most of the BT that we will be getting. All of them definitely have at least 20 to 30% HP damage limit up and additional effect. So Mog's additional effect is it doubles his follow-up. So now if he's doing El Nino, then he will do it twice, but once there's no more debuff on the party, then El Nino will be, instead of El Nino, it will be Plasma Plus. So twice the chance for you to cleanse, twice the chance for you to confuse the enemy, and most importantly, doubles his follow-up attacks damage. So in that case, he will be dealing 4 HP dump just from his follow-up against 2 enemies, that's 8. So that's actually pretty huge. Like, regardless of what he do, 8 HP dumps is for certain, as long as his BT is up. So here we have S1, which is 5 HP dump. If you include the follow-up, total he will be dealing about 13 HP dumps. S2 is about 14 HP dump, EX is 16, and LD is 18. So overall, he has good damage with his BT, and he have disabled. So if you do it right, pretty much the enemy will not be taking a turn as long as Mog is in the party, unless they are immune to confusion or somehow they cleanses themselves. And thirdly, Mogs has very good cleanse utility. So if you are fighting against a fight that is very heavy on debuff, then Mogs will ensure the entire party is free of debuff. Okay, and probably the most important thing, especially if you are FF6 or Terra, you know, if you really like them, then Mog is really cute, and his animation is really cute as well. I specifically like the part where he moonwalks and his BT where he does the ghosting. So to me, that's actually pretty fun to look at. And sometimes I would just be pressing his BT plus just to, you know, have a chance to look at the animation. But for my main account, I will not be pulling for Mog. I will get his FR for sure, but I will get his BT and green it with my alternate account so that I can showcase the capability of Mog basically as a utility DPS unit. And before I end this, another thing that I want to mention, that his call is also pretty good, because if you have a debuff, you use his call, it acts as a cleanse. If you do not have a debuff and you use his call, then it acts as a chance to inflict confusion on the enemy. And with his attack and the follow-up attack that he do during his call, the damage from his call is actually pretty good. Do note that he will not do double follow-up because there's no BT with his call, so it's only a single follow-up, but that is good enough. So overall score, I would give Mog a 7 out of 10.